atmosphere is highly abnormal. It seems as though something big has happened. We should ask around a little, just to be safe.
I'm all for work-life balance, but I think this is pushing it.
Ah, you're the consultant to Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Mr. Zhongli, I presume. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times. We mustn't act rashly.
Desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, I say meet, but it's more like they're attempting to stall the Adepti outside the city. However, both sides were quite obstinate and hit an impasse.
It seems inevitable, given the current situation.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts.
Surely the Liu Qixing are not...
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it's because...
And what now?
That's all Ningguang's doing. She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Childe's close associates. Please understand that your actions will
It looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an Neither path is an easy...
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor has also been caught up in all of this.
Things are taking a turn for the... I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things back at Wangsheng Funeral Park. Consider your next course of action carefully, traveler. If you're trying to...
Having connections with... So what does Zhongli mean by... Oh, Paimon gets it. If there's any... He must be waiting for the moment when... But where could we find him? Where would he go at a time like this? looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed this is where all of Teyvat's mora is minted, right? In that... Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky trick, but even if we can't take any, we can... Or better yet, take a nap on top of them. Oh, right, it's quiet. Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Paimon smells quick! We have to go make sure that the
Boss fight, here we go. Oh god. Yeah, pretty sure I'm about to die in this boss fight.
You've already
My
fulfilled your
character's not
task as
built.
guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already...
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way. Where should I start? Well, I've never been one to beat around the bush, you know. But who could have if it weren't for that lovely little rite of parting ceremony you put together, it would have taken me a whole lot longer to get the in from stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops that...
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires. I'm not asking for your blessing. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, either way, we now come to the battle.
Battle? So you're the...
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral, instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a Harbinger lies...
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt...
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Besides, you could never defeat me. Not... Fighting talk, I love it! Now let's see you live up to it. This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint.
Silence!
You missed a spot!
Let the mighty be humbled!
How unbecoming.
Be not perturbed. I am
Yahoo!
A clear shot.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Not bad. Careful now. You should do it like this!
Speed of light! Let's play! Yeah!
Cowering already?
Bow your head.
You missed a spot!
Don't blink! Hey!
You've made some progress.
I'll be fine.
Not bad.
Think you
You've
can
got
get
a
away?
trick or two. Good. No wonder Signora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. Zelf, this is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger.
The tide is beckoning.
Raging tide!
Here we go.
No use hiding back there. Got you. Something else catch your eye?
Phew. Go!
All you do is run. I'll crush you. Got you.
Bow your head.
Brace yourself.
This.
Phew.
No use hiding back there. Got you. Break.
Huh?
Got you. I'll crush you. Raging tide.
Silence!
Got you. All you do is run. Break. Got you. Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected. Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now. Huh? I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
Oh, God.
Not bad.
This is a real fight, yeah.
This is going to cost you! Yeah! You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now! Don't make me take it from you!
We didn't take it!
Brace yourselves. Here we go. Wouldn't gliding time for takeoff.
Die here.
When the tide comes in, I shall return. Settle down. Bow your head. There's a tear in my robe. Settle down! I see the temperate waters of eons past.
Yahoo! Yeah. Think you can get away? Brace yourselves. Ha, ha, yeah. Here we go. Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Dull.
Don't blink. Let's play. Yeah.
You're cut above.
Look! Child's back.
Well, it seems the burden of the foul legacy and now that I consider the matter more carefully, you had no connection to the Gnosis.
That's what we've been trying to tell.
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you and Mons. You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it, but if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just— This battle has already left. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend. Even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against—
Pretty sure that's not the normal.
Unfortunately, I must bring this in. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the In fact, in my—
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers. As such, we
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the truth is, the world belongs to those who Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as fatui.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant.
A god?
Osial, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geor Archon in the Archon War. and who has remained pinned beneath the weight. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand
But the Archon War ended too...
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey! Those are sigils of Oh, Paimon remembers now! The fatui have been
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a... With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a Harbinger by... Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fit... But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show... Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone! That guy is fast! What's going on? If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over, did we make it in?
What are you doing?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you...
Faced with the calamity of such
Oh, Paimon gets it. Just seeing...
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention, which is why we must stop that monster.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000... So will the power of the Qixing...
We've already discussed this together, and our...
What? But...
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Qixing did once research the matter of the Guizhong, and as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong ballista with one's... For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mech...
I suppose this is one. So be it. We shall use the upgraded... We haven't a moment to spare. Yep.
The Fatui! They're attacking the Guizhong ballista!
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you, one wishes to witness.
Let's play!
Looks like I went too far.
With sword comes shadow.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Be sanctified.
The ancient god's attacking again! There are so many Fatui too! We can't look!
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children?
Huh?
No slacking off!
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy! That light from your body, it's like the tiny giant cars! Wow, it's Madame Ping's shockwave! This granny's really strong!
With sword from shadow. Don't blink! Hey!
My duty at an end. Let's end this quickly!
Time for takeoff. With the blood of the Chilian, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
So this is what Ganyu's like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Time to go! Don't blink! Think you can get away? Nowhere to hide. Hey!
For slacking off my duty at an end.
With sword comes shadow. Exercise caution! I fear that the god's power has reached its peak! In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right? Riding me fast.
So quiet.
Cut to the chase! Hey! Time for takeoff. Incoming. Higher, higher, hands on fire! Phew. Play with me. Hey! The merrier. Look at me.
Yes, this is it.
The tide's beckoning.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace!
interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has the effects of the sigil of... It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her. At first, it was only the size of a small... It is a testament to Ningguang. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much.
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as... Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense.
Forebears, you say?
This morning,
What?
in the dream, I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal... But I dared not speak.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying?
Right. That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds, and the Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would...
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti.
Huh? Why does everyone look...
Weren't you frightened?
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there. When danger is near, thanks for protecting Liyue.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be...
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and...
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have...
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons mean. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have won. Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consent, but how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing...
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that...
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was of... Oh, right! It's nice Childe wanted to unleash the... But we were able to handle the over... Oh, and speaking of that, don't it... Hyman doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less right... of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshen Funeral Parlor.
What do you think?
Beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you...
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong... Last time we saw Zhongli, do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting... We had better go and make sure...
Cuisine is inedible.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy? Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Childe. And... you! You're also one of the Harbingers?
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? Ah, right. I imagine that it must...
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly...
Paimon knew that we should...
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I mean... Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis...
What in the world are you talking...
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you... No, wait! That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you and splat!
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was...
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come. Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant. I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Childe, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles. Indeed I was. The gnosis which I had kept for so many years suddenly seemed to have lost its meaning. That's right, which is why I continued to safeguard the
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return,
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has...
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Childe. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, traveler. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti. They seized the opportunity to supplant Leo as divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Leo.
Huh? That doesn't sound...
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me, and it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon, Liyue, would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Be that as it may, you've come out of this as the hero of Liyue. I, on the other hand, will be forever prescribed as a disturber of the peace, no?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle—
Fine. I'll meet you there later.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no...
Realistically speaking.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, my agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. My contract to end all. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that the... So Rex Lapis is really... Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think? I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that...
Fatui? They certainly...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you...
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex and...
Say, do you think the person who assassinated...
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess?
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the millilith...
Hear ye all! The Chi sings words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too, gods and adepti live glorious lives. But both light and shadow have their season. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets, having been thwarted in his trial. Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people, nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the so that's how something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how could the Chising already have known that Rex Lap... Did Zhongli tell them in secret? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like... Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing. Are they saying something?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returned...
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous.
The long, unending dream of our Archon.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we...
So concludes the words of Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have...
Huh? Is she looking...
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking...
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young. The Liyue Chising always repay their debts. Name your price.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
We're spoke. Never before seen Roman. I do not want to expect your voice to sound like, I'll be honest.
but it seems that, well, that's...
Ah, Rex Lapis. Oh, Rex Lapis. Now that I think about it, if everyone's of the same mind as me, perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might be the best short-term business opportunity.
Why, if you were looking for...
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions. And here you are looking all...
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you could...
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout.
You're right. I do lack them.
But why would Morax...
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon, so I had to rehearse a little.
Oh, no wonder. Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to...
Well, we were only spending fatui. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of... That is true. But there is no journey...
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search...
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by... Yes, the nation has been closed. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex...
Paimon thinks we've heard the...
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis...
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, this is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders.
They want to seize visions? But what?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessing.
Whoa, that's...
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue it. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principles. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Ah, that was a good one. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit, I hinted as much to... How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions? All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement...
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Childe did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adept. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the Fatui. Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Childe's exalted position as a Harbinger, I'm certain that All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Keqing is absolutely right in saying this. Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the Qixing's plan to take governing power over Liyue from the hands of the gods and Adepti. Could the original person who brought up the idea of... All right then. Was there anything else you wished to...
That's right. Zhongli, now that since Morax is... Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the...
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time, since creating more...
This is terrible!
Yes, this is indeed a... Well, I suppose...
Then, did you at least set some private...
Oh, a private fund.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think... All right then. Was there anything else? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside.
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex flavor profile, but it must be savored patiently to fully appreciate it.
children, come.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, no. In fact, my old friends and I have...
A gift? For Paimon?
Oh, child. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, that simply won't do. Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as... Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, I will not go into too much detail. The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created you...
So, in the eyes of an adeptus, creating...
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis on the... but that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I...
That's right! Findings...
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to... What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find... Well, for starters, I require some shimmers. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glazed lily. But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner. Even more difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it. In any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within... Goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding...
Well, since you're an adeptus...
Yes.
She counts? How come there are so many adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say?
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. Yenfei, I believe you've already...
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the... before finally defeating an ancient god together with... A shame that we didn't meet if we had. Well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately. Allow me to introduce myself once more. Oh, yes. Here's my business card. You'll find it has my... If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention...
All right, Yenfei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two are in any dire need of... You'll have to excuse Yenfei. She's always been like this. Ever the talkative one when it comes to her own affairs.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question.
An adeptus? I guess. Kinda. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time. And then after that they had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Well, that's a bit casual for an adeptus. Aren't you guys...
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis, and that he was fine with it. Even contributed... Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So
Is that so? But smaragdus jadeite is... Yenfei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped lead...
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's depth...
Whoa, that's a really thick...
Commercial consultancy.
Or Crossel, a Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck. Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing yourself in legal jeopardy.
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us. Best we be a little more careful than usual.
Please be mindful of your personal safety.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to befriend them and cause them no harm.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Hello, Mr. Crossel.
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei.
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, in the end I did, Miss Yanfei. Might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins?
Wait, isn't Smaragdus jadeite really rare?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed the contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Ms. Zhiqiao.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is—
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness—
In that case, might you know where Miss Zhiqiao lives?
Oh, of course. She wrote her address—
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossel.
Oh, whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me.
How do you do, Monsieur Chow? My associates and I are very
The hairpins. I don't know how it could have happened. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way My family is in the ore business too. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be... That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. I can't have them looking, but now that I've lost the hairpins...
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins, just...
Huh? Well,
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's elite true. Though surely there must be a win-win solution.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation, and given the rarity of Smaragdus jadeite, I fear that the final...
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed...
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the jadeite is genuine or not? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be...
Please. Please, however much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that... So hold on a moment, Monsieur Chow. When you first touched the hairpin...
What did I feel? Well, my family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so...
Smooth to the touch. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao and... You lost them!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry!
Mora! Do you... I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, it was in fact genuine...
Of course! Genuine article guaranteed, or...
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back...
Thank you very much. How could she lose my...
Looks like I'll have to find some way to
Please wait, Mr. Chow. It's not convenient to speak here, so...
Miss Yanfei, what is this about?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the Orin laid on those hairpins may not be Smaragd.
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, But Smaragdus jadeite is found deep underground, and if mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were—
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all, in fact.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the—
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now!
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way, and then he'd throw the Smaragdus jadeite into the sea. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow— Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yunfei.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, can I ask you to please sign this contract?
Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track. It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than—
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be—
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay, and I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you—
This contract has so many pages!
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract.
I've had a read through.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually— I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case—
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask.
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus jadeite myself. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way, it's a lead. As long as— Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to— But again, let's not dwell on this. I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. If Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to— Oh! Surely not more spurious claims that—
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnyan merchant named Crossell enlisted your ore processing—
A Snezhnyan I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus jadeite or not. But he was quite generous with his money, too, so I—
Do you—
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look.
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that, yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though—
A thin layer of—
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite?
Is that so? So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao was able to tell what it was?
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference and, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossell...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of the...
Miss Yenfei?
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did...
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here.
Then I have no further questions. But...
Of course.
Oh, I have my reasons. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated...
Yes, I see.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident. Just a minor...
Is this hard evidence to back us up?
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a cake. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got it! Singxi. She often helps people to find a jewel...
Well, that was quick.
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts, but the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
So you helped them make sense of the law. But didn't you...
Yes, well, that's no obstacle, because I've memorized all the... You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside... Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like read...
Again, with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then. Let's go...